Hello students, in this video we will discuss part 2 of the essay of Mimicry and Man, Ambivalence of Colonial Discourse. In this video we will discuss effects of mimicry. According to Baba, mimicry creates a split personality. Baba quotes Freud's words, their mixed and split origin is what decides their fate. Their colored descent by some striking feature or other, and on that account are excluded from society and enjoy none of the privileges. So, the colonial subjects who imitate their masters, colonial masters, do not enjoy any of the privileges which the masters enjoy. Not only that, the society, the native population also makes fun of them. They are not accepted by the society. Therefore, the colonial subjects who imitate their masters have a split personality. Next effect of mimicry is castration, wherein castration results in the essence being taken out of the colonial subject. Next is identity effects are crucially split. Mimicry shatters the identity of the colonized. The colonized population are usually referred to as using two terms such as African American, American Indian. So, their identity is crucially split. Next, civilizing mission becomes a farce. We already saw Charles Grant's idea behind introducing the civilizing mission. He had hidden agenda of suppressing the rebellion of native population by introducing Christianity. So, civilizing mission appears as a farce due to mimicry. Mimicry also results in artificial performance by colonial subjects to please their colonial masters. Such partial representations can be seen in the works of authors like V.S. Naipaul. These partial representations become authorized versions of otherness due to mimicry. Baba quotes Benedict Anderson. Benedict Anderson describes the inner incompatibility of empire and nation. Due to mimicry, there is empire and nation incompatibility. Mimicry problematizes the signs of racial and cultural priority so that the nation is no longer naturalizable. uh, Mimicry does not support the idea of a nation. So he says, Benedict Anderson says, when empire rises, nation vanishes. According to Edward Said, mimicry as the metonymy of presence is indeed such an erratic, eccentric strategy of authority in colonial discourse. Ethnocentric and erratic will to power from which text can spring is itself a theatre of war. According to Edward Said, military results in clash between the colonizer and the colonized because it gives erratic and ethnocentric representation of each other. Baba also quotes Fanon, wherein he says the ambivalence of mimicry, almost but not quite, suggests that the fetishized colonial culture is potentially and strategically an insurgent counter appeal. Due to mimicry, Like Edward Said pointed out, Fanon also says that there can be struggle between the colonized and colonizer. So, by the time we come to the end of this essay, it reads, where history turned to a farce, presents to a part, the two twin figures of narcissism and paranoia report furiously and uncontrollably. The founding objects of the Western world become erratic and eccentric. So, history becomes a farce due to mimicry. We have already seen how Britain feels that India has distorted its history. So, mimicry has the capacity to turn history into farce, and the Western colonialism has qualities of narcissism and paranoia in it. Narcissism means self love. The Western countries, the colonial powers, want to keep power to themselves because they love themselves. They are narcissistic. And paranoia means fear. That kind of fear of losing power is there in them, which they cannot get out of. So, both narcissism and paranoia, which are the result of once again mimicry, will make the founding objects of the Western world become erratic and eccentric. Due to these, narcissism and paranoia, their basic assumptions or beliefs will become erratic and eccentric. It is then the body and book lose their representational authority. Here he talks about Bible, which loses its importance due to mimicry. Let me read from the essay wherein he says, and the holiest of books, the Bible, bearing both the standard of the cross and the standard of empire, finds itself strangely dismembered. For that, he gives an example how such a holy book, which enjoys the status of one of the greatest works, loses its identity. The example given from the essay is, in May 1817, a missionary wrote from Bengal. Still, everyone would gladly receive a Bible. People in Bengal, whenever they are offered Bible by the Christian missionaries, they receive it very happily. Why? Not because they want to keep it and read it, or maybe use to worship God. It is not the reason. Then why do they receive it gladly? That he may lay it up as a curiosity for a few pies. The Bengali wants to sell that Bible for some money, or use it for waste paper. He is going to use it as waste paper. Such, it is well known, has been the common fate of these copies of the Bible. Some have been bartered in the markets, others have been thrown in snuff shops and used as wrapping paper. So, the authority and the importance enjoyed by such a great book as Bible is lost due to mimicry. So, Bible itself becomes a farce. Now, Baba also suggests how to go out of it, the way out, or what is the remedy for it. He suggests the remedies for the effects of mimicry in this manner. He quotes Foucault and says, thinking the unthought, that is one of the methods of coming out of the ill effects of mimicry. to end man's alienation by reconciling him with his essence. Now, we had already seen that mimicry takes the essence out of a man. So, if we can reconcile him to his essence, then we can come out of the ill effect of mimicry. Another remedy is negritude. Resorting to negritude, one can come out of mimicry. Uh, we also understand that there is something called reverse phenomena, which is a passing down, which is also called passing down. It is when the colonizer imitates the colonized. It is a reverse of mimicry. In mimicry, what happens? The colonized will imitate colonizer, whereas that is called passing up, and passing down is when the colonizer imitates the colonized. We find examples of this in literature. Kim, the novel by Rudyard Kipling, where Kim is a European, he imitates Indian life. And in the work Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, Kurtz, who is a European, imitates African way of life. Both of these are examples of reverse mimicry or passing down.